There's one thing is here. It's clear, right?
Yeah. Can you share it on the groups?
Yeah. Good afternoon and assalamu alaikum. Uh, Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the program, the special live program with the mayor of Prospect Park, New Jersey, the longest serving Muslim mayor of Prospect Park in New Jersey. And I have the youngest borough administrator, American Bangladeshi, Intashan Chaudhary. We'll be talking about many issues, particularly Prospect Park base, politics, and stuff. So welcome all of you to this special program. Mayor, welcome to my program.
Thank you, Salman.
And Intashan, welcome to you to my program too.
Thank you, Masum.
Okay. We'll be discussing many things. First of all, I do apologize for non-English speaker Bangladeshi brothers and sisters because we have a non-Bangladeshi speaker here. That's why I have to be continued in English. I do apologize for that, but I'm sure that you'll be able to find out other way to understand the live, the meaning of the live. Mayor, let me start from the youngest borough administrator of New Jersey. If it is not in the United States, but definitely state of New Jersey, Intashan, he is a Bangladeshi American.
Correct.
Here, and only 22 years of age. Can you believe that? He is managing $6.5 million US dollar budget of Prospect Park, New Jersey. And we're going to talk to him how he's managing everything. Intashan, just introduce yourself.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Assalamu alaikum. My name's Intashan Chaudhary Rahi. First and foremost, I'm the son of Bangladeshi American immigrants. My father, his name is Gholam Chaudhary Shaheen, owner of Bengal Pharmacy, and my mother, Saeeda Chaudhary. We're from the city of Sylhet in Bangladesh. We're proud of our village over there. And it's a lot of pressure, but I welcome it, being the business administrator of Prospect Park. You know, I have a great mentor, Mayor Khairullah. He's been doing this for longer than I've been alive. So with that kind of experience and the team that he's put together on an everyday basis, it's made my life a little bit easier, and it's been a learning process. So I'm still relatively new, but I'm learning every single day, and the mayor's teaching me something new every single day in terms of how to manage day-to-day operations, how to oversee projects, and how to see things through every single day for the betterment of the community and Prospect Park at large.
Let me ask you a funny question, but I have to ask: are you really at 22?
Yeah, I am 22 years old.
Because when you talk, to be honest, even a public speaker, it doesn't look like that you are actually 22 because the matured enough as a public speaker. I noticed that. So, Intashan, your parents must be very proud of you, what you have achieved so far. It's like very astonishing, very incredible things that you have achieved. What are you doing right now? I mean, apart from this job, are you studying?
Yes. Well, the mayor makes sure I'm studying and getting better every single day.
Okay.
He's a big proponent on education. As you may know, Mayor was my former teacher 7 years ago in high school. That's where he found me and kind of cultivated me every single day. So I owe a lot of my success to him and the people that he's put around me in my life every single day to get me better. But I am finishing up my master's in public administration
At
Rutgers University, Newark, the School of Public Affairs and Administration, and I'm studying shared services. That's where my research capstone is on, and that's where the experience of the mayor comes in play, because he's helped me with a lot of my papers, a lot of my discussion points with school. He's been instrumental in my academic success as well. So not just here in Prospect Park, but just in general in my public service career, I'm really grateful to have that kind of support that the mayor provides me every single day.
Thank you. Well, let's move to Mayor. Mayor, how is Prospect? Can you introduce yourself as well? so that we know that who you are. Because you told a very inspirational story, and I can, in New York last time, who you are, how you become, a successful mayor of Prospect Park, despite of having an immigrant community background, speaking.
Yes, first of all, Assalamu alaikum to you and to the brothers and sisters here and in Bangladesh as well. As you mentioned, I am an immigrant myself. My family settled in the United States in 1991, and 10 years later, I ran for office. And the first time I ran for office was 2001. And alhamdulillah, I won and became a council member, which is the legislative part of the municipality. And then 4 years later, I had the fortune to become nominated and selected by my colleagues on the council to be the mayor. And I've been the mayor since November of 2005, so over 13 years, going on to 14. And we've seen a lot of growth in the community. Prospect Park is a community that was established by the Dutch community in 1901, and then in the 70s the Muslim community started moving in along with other communities, that being the Circassian community, which come from the Caucasus Mountains near Russia, and then Prospect Park since then has been transitioning with a large Bangladeshi community right now, that has established itself
outside Patterson?
Outside of Patterson, that has established roots and is actually, in my opinion, politically is ahead of the Patterson community, with all due respect to my brothers and sisters in Patterson. As you have the president of the Board of Education, Brother Muhammad Hussein Sherman.
He's from Bangladesh?
He's from Bangladesh, from Sylhet. You have Commissioner Niaz Nadeem, also from Bangladesh. You have Intishan. So the community has been very, very involved and active in Prospect Park. And I guess the size of Prospect Park lends itself for allowing the community to be engaged. And they're very united in terms of working together politically, which is an advantage as well. So, but by profession, I am an educator. I do work in a public school as a supervisor of instruction. I'm a father of 5 children. The youngest is 9 months old. The oldest is 16 years old. We're living the dream, as they say.
Yeah, you must be. Mayor, tell us, how is Prospect Park doing under your leadership, under your administration?
Well, I hope it's doing well. I mean, we're doing the best that we can with what we have. That's how we work. We're optimizing resources and providing as many services as we can. That's when it comes to efficiency. When it comes to inclusiveness, our administration has representation from all communities. I mean, we do have the Bangladeshi community involved, but we also have the Hispanics, Latinos, the African Americans. We have different representations from all segments. We want our community to stay united. We celebrate Ramadan, we celebrate Eid, but we also celebrate with our neighbors their Christmas, Easter, so on and so forth. We all respect each other's cultures and beliefs, and we live in harmony together.
I mean, promoting multiculturalism as usual. I have a question. I mean, why did you choose Intasan? That was what I wanted to ask you, even from the beginning. What motivated you? Because he's only 22 years of age. I mean, to be honest, but what did you see in him?
Well, look, I was 22 years old at one point, and I needed someone to give me a chance.
Okay.
Now, serving politics for so long, you go beyond the shell of things. You go to the core. And what we look for in people is obviously dedication, hard work, and the ability to stay as part of one team, So Intishan is very eager to help. Intishan is task oriented. He gets the task done, but he's also someone that I could rely on. You know,
got you.
I'm gonna be very frank. I mean, in politics,
got
there's
you.
a lot of people that come and go, but they come with agendas. Intishan's agenda is to serve the public, prove himself as a young man. That's what we're looking for. You know, people who want to play games, they can go play somewhere else. We mean business here, and that's what we get with Intishan.
I see that Prospect Park, the violent crime rates is dramatically, fell down. You know, what was the charisma for that?
Well, we you know, Prospect Park has always been a safe community. We do have crimes that happen a few blocks away from us, but never really crosses into our borders. We do have an outstanding police department that
Professional.
very professional. They monitor everything going in and out of town. They're constantly patrolling. They're very visible, and visibility is key. Visibility is key when it comes to public safety, because any criminal who thinks that they might be spotted doesn't like to go to areas where they can be caught. So we have a very visible police department, and on top of our full-time police officers, we have what's called a class 2 and a class 1, which gives opportunity for people who want to become full-time police officers to try on a part-time basis. So that gives us more visibility at a lower cost, you know, because a class 1 is pretty much a volunteer, but they walk around, they have uniform, they have authority. A class 2 gets paid on a part-time basis. It doesn't cost the town benefits, but they also have a certain authority. So utilizing these different classes of police officers helps us maintain that visibility of the entire police department throughout the town.
Yeah, I see that, because I actually go drive by always through this, but I see that the Prospect police they're so professional and in terms of attitude and everything. And there is a let me make the viewers who are right now with us, if you have any anyone from this locality, if you have any question, you can ask right now to the mayor. I'll pass it over to him so you can get the answer. And also I see that one of the gentlemen, actually, I think I missed the comment, he said that property crime is a little bit tricky. Do you have any initiative for that so that you can reduce
crimes on properties? So usually that would include vandalism, and what we would recommend is obviously put in lights on people's homes, because an automatic light that comes on when someone gets near the property or comes at the property prevents any criminal from going into the property, because they don't want to be seen. Because when a criminal wants to commit a crime, they don't want people to see them. So put in lights. Put in cameras is also another way of defending the property. Right now, we solve a lot of crimes because of cameras that are all over the town. You know, so sometimes even if you don't have camera, but something happens, we could spot it from a neighboring camera. So the more cameras we have around town, the more people protect themselves. It's an extra level of deterrent. And last but not least, obviously, if you have something that needs to be protected, don't flaunt it, because it attracts people who want to take it unrightfully. You know, so sometimes we see people walking around with a lot of gold on their hands, so on and so forth, and you're visible in the daylight, it attracts attention. You know, that's some of the ways.
Target people.
Yeah.
And
yeah. So, you know, I know we might want to go to parties and stuff and put the gold on. But when you're in the street, try to cover it up so it's not very visible.
And how about the schooling? I mean, in Prospect Park, are you satisfied right now the school standard that you have, average, if you compare to the average U.S. standard?
The school in Prospect Park is one of the reasons why people want to come to Prospect Park. But as an educator, I could tell you one thing is we are always looking to improve schools.
Yes,
so there's always new ways of teaching, new methods, new technology. So we're always looking for new ways. And now we have a board under the leadership of Brother Sherman, like I said, that is looking to bring the school to the next level. So if anybody is looking for a community with good education, it definitely would be Prospect Park.
The Prospect Park. I see that. I mean, you have a very good reputation. I mean, in terms of crime, you know, we are very next to Patterson and many other borough. But if you compare to them, I see that average crime rate from all terms of the United States, you are able to keep it very low if you compare it to. How is that possible? I mean, is that like you have your team, they're very competent and as a work as a teamwork?
Absolutely, and this is not a knock on Patterson. As a matter of fact, we work with the city of Patterson. Mayor Saya is doing an outstanding job
so far. Yes,
in terms of quality of life. He understands that quality of life brings investment to the community. So we're on board with them. And I always say publicly, the well-being of Patterson is the well-being of Prospect Park. The city of Patterson is our big sister, as I call it. So but what happens in Prospect Park is obviously we have a reputation of having good quality of life. We have the reputation of being a safe community. But again, what we do is we maintain that visibility by having as many police officers on the street as possible, by having the Class 1 police officers, by having a Class 2 police officers. And the way we pick good quality full-time police officers is by having the police officers go through Class 1 and Class 2. I don't hire anybody from the outside. They have to come through the system of Class 1 and Class 2, because now I was able to see them firsthand and see what type of police officer they're going to be. Are they community oriented just like we want or not? And that's how we maintain that good quality of life.
Also, I see that you have even in terms of police officers side, you have more police officers than average United States as a borough.
Right, and that's again because of the Class 1 and the Class 2 officers. To us, we have to maintain that quality of life. I cannot, in good conscience, have things slip under my administration. So we'll do whatever it takes to make sure that quality of life is maintained in the borough.
Okay, now let me come back to Intasan. Intasan, I mean, how do you feel that you, at the age of 22, you become an administrator of a municipality who you manage $5.6 million US? How do you manage that? I mean,
well, like I said, the mayor has great departments around. So even though I'm relatively young and I'm relatively new, you have to look at the people that he's built over the years that he's been mayor. You're talking about a CFO that's been there for 10 plus years. You're talking about our chief of police that's been there 20 plus years, DPW 20 plus years that are getting ready for the snowstorm right now. This is the people that mayor built up through his administration, putting a good team together. And I come into this and I kind of get to quarterback a great team that's already put in place for me.
And you get so much help from them.
I get so much help and guidance from them, but at the same time, I can identify areas where we can improve, of course, with the leadership of the mayor, but and our council members. But what's very important to remember is that a lot of people look at my age and they're saying, wow, this is fantastic history and all that. I was thinking about Monday when I was getting sworn in on Saturday. Like, what do I have to do right away? Because the mayor would always tell me that being the youngest, or in the mayor's case, being the longest serving Muslim elected official in the state of New Jersey, Arab and Muslim elected official, that doesn't matter if you can't deliver. It becomes just optics. It becomes just noise. So I have to think about getting to work right away on Monday, and when I got sworn in on Saturday, and that's what I was thinking about after the news boiled over. But I'm just really grateful that I have a great team every single day. I mean, he doesn't get enough credit for that. The people that he puts in different places, the talent that he identifies, the young people that are constantly involved in government. When you think about Khairullah or his administration, you think about new innovative talent every single day. Yeah.
So it looked like the mayor is very tough on his administration to get the things done quickly or efficiently, professionally, right?
That's an understatement. He is probably the toughest boss I've ever had.
I can understand that. I can understand, honestly speaking.
It's when you come up with a great idea, there's certain things that the mayor identifies that is so profound. Like he's so hands-on, and I talk about it in my MPA classes, that there's mayors that are a little bit behind the scenes, that don't like to be hands-on, that like allow the employees and personnel to do the things. No, the mayor, it rolls up his sleeves and he gets right there, and he handles situations, and he's doing he's responding to his constituents. I mean, it's unheard of. But it's because if he holds himself to the same standards, he expects everybody else to do the same, and that's what actually allows for efficiency in his operations, and limits errors. So it makes everybody better that we have a mayor that's very tough on us. If he's not tough on us, then we get lenient, we get content, and nobody wants to be content in a community like this.
Like Mayor, Mayor, let me come back to you. I see that you've been awarded for humanitarian work. I mean, you do throughout the. I think I heard that you went to Bangladesh even.
I did go to Bangladesh.
Yeah, Mayor. Let me, guys, whoever on the line, I know that it's going to be a little bit difficult to understand English. So I say the mayor, he been awarded for his excellent humanitarian work. Even he went to Bangladesh to help Rohingyas community, right? What was that experience when you went there?
Well, number one, I got to visit the beautiful country of Bangladesh.
Thank you. Good to hear that.
And what what I found out is the people in Bangladesh are just as wonderful and beautiful as the Bangladeshi people that I meet in the U.S. When I was talking to them about the situation in the Rohingyas, they kept saying, listen, we're not a very rich country, but we have to help our brothers and sisters. Thank you for helping us, helping them. So the hospitality that they had for the Rohingyas was heartwarming. On the other hand, just walking inside the Rohingya refugee camps was very painful, obviously. Very bad living conditions because of such an influx. I mean, no country can handle over 500,000 people coming in all of the sudden. So at that point, they were still setting things up for them. The camps were in an area that was wooded, and they had to cut the trees to establish the camps for them. Very hilly. I was there with a medical organization that was establishing a medical clinic, but I saw the hospitality and the welcoming of the Bangladeshi community. I enjoyed my time there. I was there for about a week, and I came back with my eyes wide open to the suffering of the people. I went actually to Syria prior to that, during the war, to help. So it is eye-opening to see how much people are suffering throughout the world. When we in the United States, we live in safe environment, our rights are protected, we're not threatened by anyone. And we need to understand that there are people out there who don't have the same privileges that we have, and we need to help them out. I chose to help them out by going out there and lending my voice and my name recognition so I could raise funds for them at that point. And that's what I could do. If there's anything else I could do, I would. You would,
okay. You must thank Bangladesh government, because they, given the shelters and food, everything, millions of Rohingyas. It's incredible, isn't it?
Absolutely, absolutely, yes. And when I say I thank the Bangladeshi people, I mean the Bangladeshi government, because the government is who allow them to be there. The government is allowing the nonprofit organizations to actually go and establish clinics. I saw the army there protecting them as well. So of course it is the Bangladeshi government representing the Bangladeshi people.
Thank you. Let me read some comments. Some give you mayor give you thanks. They're giving you thanks. One of Borough says there's many comments. I actually missed it. I say good job, mayor. The other things is, so I want to talk about the other things. That I see that whenever any storms or any kind of things happen, you on the street, and another
Yes.
the council president, particularly Anand Shah. He's on the street too, and he's always very active on Facebook and letting people know that what's going on around us. It's an incredible job, right?
Absolutely.
The council?
Listen, we're in a day and age of social media. It's very easy to reach people. There is no need for people not to find out what's going on in town. So obviously we have a storm coming up tonight, and we've made special arrangements, and once we're done with this recording, we have to make some announcements. I have to record it. That's part of the signature of our administration, is that, hey, listen, we might be limited on resources, but we're not limited on ideas. We're not limited on ways to get in the information to you. We're a click away. I could tell you, whether I was in Bangladesh, whether I was inside Syria during the war, whether I was in Turkey, whether I go down to Texas or California, when people reach me, they'll get an answer. Social media is a wonderful thing that we could answer people wherever we are. So yes, I believe in utilizing social media to help communicate effectively with our residents.
There is one very renowned community activist, Hassan Ali from New York. He's saying that what are you gonna tell to the immigrant community who sometimes feel deprived of their rights? If there's any way they should think like that, or their rights being protected by the law and order that in place in the United States.
All right, so I'm gonna look straight at the camera,
Please.
and what I want to tell people,
Please.
is listen. The flag behind us represents what the United States stand for. There is the difference between the United States and dictatorship countries around the world is we're not a country where a leader stays forever. The longest any president could stay in power is 8 years, not standing any
Absolutely.
war situation. So we're a country of institutions. That means there are different institutions where have checks and balances. We're as a country of checks and balances. There's the presidential power, there's the judicial power, and then there is the legislative power, or the legislative branch. If we look at what's going on right now, the Congress can summon the president to come answer them. Just like he has authority to summon people, they have authority to do it, courts have authority to do it. So the point is, have no fear. There are plenty of organizations that will protect you, such as CARE, for example, which we attended their event 2 weeks ago. The American Civil Liberty Unions, ACLU. These are organizations that have volunteers that will help you. So whenever you feel that your rights have been violated, please make sure that you reach out to these organizations and make sure that you file a complaint with them. Unlike in my motherland in Syria, where if people speak against the president, they'll disappear. No one can make you disappear in the United States. You're not gonna go into a jail and for people never to find you again. Doesn't happen here. It should not happen here. So once you are here legally, you are protected just like anybody else. Until you become a citizen, you have all the rights of an American citizen except the ability to vote. So you have all the rights. Once you become an American citizen, then you have the full privileges of an American citizen. So have no fear. If anybody, and there will be people who will try to intimidate you, there are racist people, there are biased people, have no fear from these people, because there are organizations that will stand for you.
And a law is in place who can protect you as
Right.
well. Mayor, I heard that you are a very good vocal and you're promoting immigrants' rights at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Democracy. I have to talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can become a mayor. You came from Syria,
Correct.
and you can be a mayor where almost how many percentage of demography? I think you're like white, African American. The vast, it's not even Muslim community here.
No,
that
no.
big, even so. To be honest, it is possible because the democracy is in place.
Correct.
Tell us about that. I mean, how you promoting democracy? Why you need democracy?
Well, you need it because if you look at the United States, it was founded in 1776.
Mm-hmm.
Even though we're now on president number 45,
Mm-hmm.
it is still the greatest nation on earth. If you go to countries like my motherland, Syria,
Mm-hmm.
for the past 50 years, there have been Assad the father and Assad the son, and Assad the son is preparing his son now. And all the cheerleaders who cheer for the dictator are saying, no one can save the country except this family. That's the mentality that they have. Only a family can save a country. The answer is no. There's plenty of talent. There's plenty of Syrian talent. There's plenty of talent from every single country. God has not chosen a certain family to save a country. So, and the best example is the democracies. You know, you have the United States, Japan, Germany,
United
France, England. You know, maybe they have kings and queens, but you know they're symbolic.
Yeah,
But really,
that's symbolic.
it's the prime ministers who run the countries, and prime ministers change every few years, and these countries are still ruling the world.
Yes.
So how is it that a country that changes leadership every few years is still very powerful, and then you have these backward leaders who are still trying to convince their people only us can save you? There's nobody else in the country out of millions of people that can really take the leadership and take the country out of its misery. You know what? They're still backward. They're still bad economies. Look at what happened in Syria. Because they wanted to keep their leadership, the Assad family,
Mm-hmm.
half the people are displaced, with millions of them being out of the country now, with millions being displaced from their homes, billions in property damage, entire buildings and neighborhoods destroyed, just so that one family could keep their hold on power. You know, so I think having a strong constitution that the institutions respect is what is essential to having a strong nation. You have to have institutions, and people have to respect the law of the land.
There is a question. I mean, what are you going to tell the people under dictator, semi-dictator to promote democracy? Because you can be a mayor as a immigrant from an immigrant family just because there is a democracy in place.
Right.
What are you going to tell when their leader tell them that even one party or we don't need democracy like that. We need development. So without proper democracy, is the people right being protected there? Or you think that there is because if you see the dictator countries around the globe, the citizen actually exercise very minimal rights of free speech and media. What is your opinion on that?
Well, listen, I've seen it firsthand, and I know the consequences that could happen to people who could rise against a dictator. And I know people don't want to put themselves in harm's way. But if you cannot resist, don't be a cheerleader for the dictator. Don't be a hypocrite and say, "Oh yeah, you're doing a great job." They're not doing a great job. They're destroying your family. They're destroying your future. I mean, look at how many people come from dictatorship countries because they have no future. They come to the United States. They're some of the most successful people in the United States. Top doctors, whether from Syria, Bangladesh, Saudi Arabia, India.
I work with them.
In their home countries. If they would have stayed there under that dictatorship where they tell them you're worth nothing, then they will be worth nothing.
Exactly.
You know, but it's the environment that the dictators create for them, and that's why if you cannot beat the system, if you cannot resist the system, do not cheer for the system, because you don't want to create children who believe that the system is right, that this is the only way that you could live. You know, you want to create children, you want to raise children who think, I should be free, I should be able to succeed, I'm not beholden to a certain leader and their family.
Let me read some comments. This is very nice. Bangladesh, okay, and some people, they giving you, say, good job. Another, Hassan Ali Bhai said, thank you, Mr. Mayor, we salute you. And another guy said, we are proud of you as a Hassan Ali Bhai and the Muslim mayor. May Allah bless you.
Thank you.
And thanks for discussing about the democracy topic. I have a dream. Martin Luther King, one of the guy, and it's how good the Buddha is not going for the democracy. Another one, ladies and gentlemen, who just witnessed, just listened that he said, "Don't be a cheerleader for a dictator." Please take a note on that, because I said, when they said that they will expect a clap from you, when they strip off your rights and becoming as dictator or semi-dictator, don't be a cheerleader. That's the mayor pointed out. Mayor, I have another question to you. I mean, I see many people when they come to the United States, when, like, you know, vast majority, when particularly I want to talk about immigrant family from Southeast Asia, when they come as a family, they see nothing, to be honest, because at the beginning, what are you going to tell the parents from the first step they should take when they come to this country? You know, obviously language barriers, and a lot of things they don't know. They come to this country, and how did you actually, you know, come across your struggle right now, and you are a mayor of Prospect Park right now? What are you going to tell those families?
Well, the cultural challenge is very real. And number one, they need to realize that it is a completely different culture and way of life. And so you need to know that for two reasons. Number one, your children are going to go to public schools. They're exposed to a completely different culture. When they come home, that culture is in their mind. So don't expect that everything is going to be like back home. All right? Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the culture back home. Actually, we have beautiful culture. The Eastern cultures are very beautiful, whether it's South Asian, whether it's Middle Eastern, very beautiful cultures. So you have to understand that you have to compromise. You have to constantly talk with your children and discuss things with them, because maybe you'll catch something where they're starting to go the wrong way, and you could discuss it with them. You know, in the United States, you can't beat your kids up.
Okay, yeah.
Know that, because what do you want to do? Beat the kid up and then lose them forever? Or would you rather have a hard time with the discussion? The discussion might take you somewhere. Beating a kid up is not going to take you anywhere, you know?
In terms of education, like in Tassan is the real example.
Yeah.
You know, but you know, despite of having immigrant family, I mean, honestly speaking.
Absolutely. I personally, for example, I speak to my kids at home only Arabic.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's part of me maintaining my culture.
Mm-hmm.
But I have no problem with them talking English outside.
Okay.
You know, so I'm not but because I want them to maintain the Arabic language,
Mm-hmm.
I have to make sure that I speak to them in
So
Arabic because I'm working against the other current. You know, the other thing is, and this is where we go wrong. If you want them to maintain their faith,
Mm-hmm.
their faith identity,
Mm-hmm.
you need to take them with you to the masjid.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can't expect them just like back in Syria or back in Bangladesh, because everything around them is one faith or majority one faith, that, you know, the culture will help them maintain the identity.
Mm-hmm.
No, you need to make sure that you take them, that if you want them to maintain the culture, you need to engage them with the community here. Otherwise, they become strangers to the community. So that is very, very important. Now, that's in terms of protecting the culture, because we do have beautiful cultures to maintain. But in terms of getting involved in society at large, which I am a big advocate for, I don't think we need to like isolate ourselves. I give you my example. I started in high school as a volunteer fireman,
Mm-hmm.
and I started volunteering in a local hospital.
Mm-hmm.
So this helped me in a non-threatening way to develop my language skills, to be involved with people in the community. So find ways to help your community out. You shouldn't just be in and out of your house, work, house, and house, masjid, house.
I mean, you said the integration into the society.
Absolutely. I'm for both. You have to maintain your identity
And
who you
along
are,
with
but then you have to integrate in society. You cannot act like I'm coming from Bangladesh, but I'm keeping Bangladesh in the US.
Uh-huh.
You cannot. You have to integrate, because all of us are, you know, we want that American citizenship, and being an American citizen means you have an obligation to this country,
to this country.
that's given you the opportunity to thrive, and it's given the opportunity for your family to thrive.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe in both. You could maintain your beautiful culture and faith, but then you have to be involved in society as a whole, because you have a lot of beautiful things to offer to society as a large.
Last question. Do you believe America is a land of opportunity?
100%, of course. I mean, we just met a Bengali brother who just retired from the Veterans Affairs Administration. He was working there for 35 years, and he was just sharing with us amazing stories. He came to the United States, I believe, in 1975,
Mm-hmm.
and, you know, he's thriving. We've met I see a lot of people, whether they're Bengali, Syrian, Palestinian, Turkish, they all have a lot of successful stories. You know, so anybody who comes to the United States with good work ethics can succeed. There's plenty of opportunities. You have over 300 million people in this country. So you open any type of business somewhere, if you do the right thing, you'll have customers, you know. If you study hard, you'll earn a degree that could put you in the right field. It's just about finding. You can't wish something to happen. In this country, you have to be a go-getter. You have to make it happen.
Make it happen. But the another question is our religion stopping us to be integrated in the US?
Absolutely not. I believe
That's the question. Please take a note, guys.
absolutely not. I think
Some people argue with that. I mean, many people. I mean, it's like, so what I have my own opinion, of course, on that.
Yes.
But I'm asking you the question, Mayor.
Yeah, no, I think
Did you ever feel that? Oh, because of the American law, because of this, I cannot do that. I'm a Muslim and something like that. Is any time you been barred to do your religious stuff?
no, listen, I know I can't drink. I'm not going to drink.
No, I'm not talking about this one.
Right, but
Yeah,
I'm
at
just
least you
giving
can
you
pray, can
as
you
an
have a mosque?
example. I know I'm not going to eat pork, but I
Many
know,
non-Muslim people even don't drink right nowadays
Right.
or eat pork.
but I find, listen, I lived in Syria, but I lived in Saudi Arabia. So I'm going to tell you, there are different interpretations and different ways that we live Islam. For
Yes.
example, Saudi Arabia is very, very strict. So when I came to the United States, my mind was in that very strict mode. But if I remember my people in Syria, they're more, because we live with Christians, we live with Jews, you have a more accommodating environment. So then I had to look into the religion deeper and find out, is it really that strict? So bottom line is, I found that Islam is very flexible based on your situation. We know our boundaries. There are boundaries you don't cross, but you don't hold yourself in a hole that you can't deal with society. There is something called fiqh al-zamani wal-makan, which is basically the knowledge about your situation, where you are and the time you are in. So even in religious interpretation can change based on where you are and the time you are in. So Islam is very, very flexible. Obviously there are the boundaries, but then in terms of dealing with larger society, you have to adjust.
Ladies and gentlemen who are actually watching right now, so Mayor pointed out two things. One is, don't be a cheerleader to a dictator. Second thing, the religion never actually barred us to adopt in the society of United States or whatever. And he said that despite of you feel free to adopt or exercise your religion, the law of the country is highly protecting you to exercise that. So take these 2 points for your future reference. Now let me come back to Intasan. Intasan, you become one of the 100 millennial, right? If I'm not wrong, right?
Yeah, the inside of New Jersey. Yeah.
Inside of New Jersey, they nominate you. It's great. I mean, it's incredible things that you become. What are you going to tell the young generation? Because you could be a role model for the young stars right now, and not even to the Bangladeshi community. You can be anyone else, immigrant community, anyone else that's like only 22 years of age, doing your master's at Rutgers, one of the best schools, business school, you can say that, Rutgers. And what you're going to tell the youngster, you can refer to the Bangladeshi community, immigrant community, from your perspective.
Well, that's a great question. So my advice to the youth is to find a mentor, right? I mean, this is a perfect setting to just note that, I have my mentor right here to the left of me and the mayor, and he found me in a very important part of my life where I trying to identify where I wanted to go and find a career in government. It could be any field, but there are mentors and there's people out there willing to help you every single day. Finding a mentor to cultivate your talents are very important to get to where you need to go to. Working hard and listening to your parents. Every single day I'm trying to get better. I spend a lot of times, if I'm not here in the office, I'm in school. I got my priorities in order. A lot of times with young people, they get very impatient. They lack loyalties in terms of moving one place to another place, and they just want to find the next best thing. Standing your ground and seeing things through. Before Prospect Park, there were a lot of people trying to tell me to go one way or the other, but then I knew I had a mentor here, I knew I had a future here, and I stuck my ground here, and it paid off. So trusting your instincts and listening to your parents. I would say listening to your parents because or your guardians, because they have their best interest for you always. We just threw my parents a surprise 30th anniversary party. The mayor was there, and it kind of helps you reflect on those people that were your support system, that were there with you when you were at your lowest and there for you when you were at your highest. So, and they're constantly giving you their blessings. So those are my major tips, but I would say start with finding that mentor.
Okay, thank you. And Justin, some people asking me to translate into Bengali as well. Can I do that?
Yeah, absolutely.
আপনারা যারা আছেন আপনারা দেখছেন, ইন্টাসান চৌধুরী বাংলাতে যাকে বলে চিফ প্রশাসনিক কর্মকর্তা একটা পৌরসভা থেকে আমরা বলি মিউনিসিপ্যালিটি মিন পৌরসভা ইজ অনলি 22 বছর বয়সে দিস আমেরিকান বাংলাদেশি আমাদের বাংলাদেশি কমিউনিটির দিস ইজ এ গ্রেট এক্সাম্পল। আপনারা যারা এখানে আসবেন তাদের বাচ্চা যারা আছে ছেলে মেয়েদেরকে কিভাবে এডুকেশন দিতে হয়, if you educate them, this is a the mayor even 5 মিনিট আগে উনি মেয়র উল্লেখ করেছেন যে this is a land of opportunity. Before even I come here, I don't believe that, but to be honest, I can make sure and I can give you the reference on top of the what mayor says. This is a genuinely a land of opportunity. You can make yourself as much as how you want to see yourself. Interesting. বর্তমানে যে পজিশনে আছে আমরা যারা ইমিগ্রেন্ট কমিউনিটিতে আছি, আমরা একটু কষ্ট করি যারা আছেন, আমরা আমাদের ফ্যামিলির ছেলেমেয়েদের যদি সঠিকভাবে আমরা স্কুলে আমরা তাদেরকে এডুকেট করতে পারি, আজকে আপনারা দেখেন তার পজিশনটা সে কোন পর্যায়ে আছে, মাত্র 22 বছর বয়স তার। এটা আপনারা কল্পনা করেন কোন পর্যায়ে। এবং আমাদের ভালো ইটস নাইস টু সি দ্যাট আমাদের যারা কমিউনিটি আছেন, আমাদের বাচ্চারা তারা উঠে আসতেছেন। কিছুদিন আগে আমরা মিট করলাম আমাদের প্রথম বাংলাদেশি আমেরিকান বাংলাদেশি পুলিশ ক্যাপ্টেন, এনি হাই র্যাঙ্কিং অফিসার এনওয়াইপিডিতে, নিউ ইয়র্ক পুলিশ ডিপার্টমেন্টে আপনারা দেখেছেন। ইট ইজ গ্রেট দ্য অ্যাচিভমেন্টস ফর দ্য ফ্যামিলি। সো ইন্টারেস্টিং, what is your plan? I mean, what is your plan? What you want to be in the future?
Well, it'll be unfair for me to think about anything long term. Honestly, I'm really focused on this job.
Into politics, I'm talking about.
Well, right now, I haven't really thought forward into anything in the future. I've been really focused on Prospect Park and moving this municipality forward for the governing body because they have a vision, and there's a lot of responsibility, social responsibility on my shoulders to implement their vision. Because if it's not coming apart, it's not on them. It's going to fall on me, and I don't want to do a disservice to the residents. So I haven't thought about anything in the future. I just been focused on two things: getting my degree and doing the best job I can for the mayor and the council members. And whatever happens in the future happens in the future. It's in Allah's hands, as I like to think of it. But it'll be you never want to think about something in the future without doing necessarily the best job for it. For instance, the mayor, a lot of people are always talking about him moving into higher office. Always, every single time I walk by, when is your mayor going to be this? When your mayor is going to be that? Because a lot of people love him throughout the state of New Jersey. But I always tell them, I said, the mayor is worrying about Prospect Park right now. And whatever happens in the future happens in the future, but he's worrying about what he wants to do here in town. And that's the kind of message he has for everybody that's working for him as well. So it'll be wrong for me to think about something else in the future.
Lastly, from your side, what are you going to tell? Your parents, the enormous support that you received to be on this stage right now. What are you going to tell your parents?
I love them very much, and to continue to pray for me. And thank you for allowing me to enter this field because it's very rare for Bangladeshis to be in government.
Exactly.
It's very rare. They're always doctors, engineers, and whatnot. But
and an IT specialist, they want to be
IT specialist.
You moving into the administration. It's something different.
I really thank my parents for having an open mind and being very supportive. Whether it was putting me through school, always constantly offering me some advice and being a listening ear, and also allowing me to thrive under the mayor. My dad will always tell the mayor in a conversation, "You're not just his boss or his mayor, his supervising. You're his second father." So my dad would always tell people that, he's with his second dad and whatnot. So I would say thank you for allowing me to be in this position and allowing me to have patience, because I was a part-timer in Prospect Park for a little bit, and then a lot of people are like, "Oh, here, go there." My parents were like, "Stay here, stay with the mayor because he has good intentions to cultivate young talent," and I thank them for just being so supportive.
What actually motivated you to study public administration?
Well, I was in healthcare in high school. I was in the same high school that the mayor, the school that the mayor's talking about. Passaic County Tech. I was a student as a sophomore. That's where I met him, and I had a mohawk and everything. I was a little. I really didn't know what I wanted to do. I was a runner, and then I was in medical arts, but I didn't really like it. So then it took a time where I met the mayor, and the mayor was like, try to go do something broad.
Uh-huh.
He said, don't, if you're not feeling it in healthcare, go into something else. Because at the time I was stuck between public health and public administration. So the mayor was like, go there, figure it out, take some electives. And a college is a time where you try to figure things out. And then I just fell in love with public service. I landed a few internships and a few gigs, and I've always kept in touch with the mayor. And then when the time was appropriate and the opportunity presented itself after I garnered experience, the mayor gave me
Don't
a shot.
make a mistake. He's still 22 years of age. Okay, the who are watching. Okay, go
Yeah,
ahead.
but the mayor gave me an opportunity when nobody has given me an opportunity, and I would like to think that it's paying off for the most part. But there's a lot of areas to learn. So
Also, you're up for any kind of suggestion, help anyone needed. So if they ask, come to you. Obviously, you are.
Of course. I mean, it's a pay it forward kind of structure. The mayor always says it's like, okay, you got the opportunity now. What are you gonna do for the next generation? What are you gonna do for the people coming forward? I mean, the mayor could have just said, all right, I'm successful. I don't really need to help anybody else. But there's constantly new people that are trying to run for office. I see it with my own eyes. Or people that are trying to think about getting involved in public service. The first person that they see is him. So he's constantly paying it forward. So why shouldn't I pay it forward? Do you understand?
I got
so it's I'm in this place. I can't be selfish. I have to be willing to share ways to improve yourselves, ways to get involved. Right when I got appointed, I was telling the mayor, 3 or 4 young residents in Prospect Park, they came into the municipal building for the first time, and they were like, we want to get involved and we want to help out. We want to learn about what you do or the mayor does and get involved in public service. So that was an eye-opening thing for me.
Great to know that. And one of the gentlemen asked me to ask mayor, say something about the leaders of Bangladesh. To be honest, we're just keeping these topics away because I don't want to mess up with this one, to trying to a little bit of fair for everyone.
And I'm not aware of politics.
Exactly, and he's not aware of Bangladeshi politics, even though he is. Doesn't matter because we don't want to talk about that here.
Yeah.
This live. Mayor, lastly, where you want to see Prospect Park in the future under your leadership? I don't think so that you'll be ever be done as a mayor, because look like you are well supported and liked by everyone. I talked to 2 to 3 people from Prospect where I work with them. I said, this guy is fantastic, real gentleman. He does perform his job as a mayor. Honestly speaking, that's what people told him.
Alhamdulillah. So this is the first year of my next 4-year term.
4 years.
And my biggest goal for the town, and honestly this is why I ran, is we have 78 acres of undeveloped land, and I would like to strike a deal with the developer that would be fair for the current residents, and that would bring new revenue to the town to help stabilize taxes in the short term, and in the long term bring more amenities to the town and more services. But currently we have a brand new board of education, and we are going to go into negotiations with them to create some interlocal services that would enhance the services overall in town, and hopefully as well with the interlocal services help stabilize taxes as well. So these are always the 2 fronts we work on. Some of the projects that we want to work on, big projects, is a soccer field in town.
Here?
Yes,
Good to know that.
Absolutely, because I know a lot of the people from South America, the people from the Middle East.
To play.
I like
They like
play
to play,
soccer.
yeah.
I think you guys like cricket.
Oh,
right?
We like soccer too.
You like soccer as well?
Cricket,
soccer,
that's
cricket.
fine. Cricket along with
Cricket
soccer
is good.
was the main sport.
All right, so
Unfortunately, we're left behind.
So
anyway.
we're pushing for a soccer field, beautiful soccer field, and hopefully enhance the park.
Good
We
to
do
know that.
have, if anybody's watching from Prospect Park, some of the things
There
coming
are some
up.
people.
We have a traffic light that's going to be installed on the corner of North 8 and Plantain Ave. I believe that's coming in April, and that's been a very dangerous intersection for us. We do have some veteran housing that's coming into town as well, a development. We are working, some of the projects we're working on this year is working on congested areas, dealing with parking issues. So there's an initiative, I believe in March meeting, we're gonna have the first study presented to us tomorrow. As a matter of fact,
Is it?
to the council and myself, so we could figure out which way we're going to go. So we have a lot of great things coming up this year. But the main thing for the next 4 years is I want to hammer that deal with the developer so we could bring tax relief to the taxpayers.
To taxpayers. Good to know that. Also, what kind of policing you always expect in Prospect Park? Like if you
Policing is what I like to call is community policing. I
community, like it's called friendly policing. Is that
absolutely. And
even friendly to the criminals?
No, absolutely.
He's tough on crime, but
We are very tough on crime. But one of the initiatives that we're working on, like I said, with cameras, there is a way for people, and we will announce that soon, that they could somewhat give us remote access to their cameras, outside cameras, obviously. So when there's a crime, we could actually review without having to knock on someone's door and say, can you show us the camera? Because some of the things that people fear is if I have a camera and you knock on my door and the criminal is watching me, then they might know that I gave you my camera footage. So there's a way where people could give us remote access to their cameras if they have it connected to the web, and we could go and look at cameras if in case a crime happens in a certain area, and it helps us track where these criminals go.
What is your how you want to see drug trafficking in Prospect Park? What is your opinion on that?
Truck traffic. Well, we are going to have a lot of truck traffic because of
No,
this.
sorry, drugs.
Oh, drug
Sorry,
traffic. All right. See, a lot of drug dealers like to go to safe towns, quiet towns, to hide their operation.
Okay.
But I can tell you that we have very wide open eyes for our police department. You know, whenever I mention a concern for them, they usually say, look, we're on it already. So most of the time, because their investigations have to be private, most of the time they're on something before we even tell them about it. So we will continue to be tough on criminals.
Okay. We have a comment from Anand Shah, the council president. Great job, Mayor and Borough Administrator Intashan Chaudhry.
Yeah.
And then Hassan Bhai, he said, Bangladesh American, Mr. Intashan Chaudhry, we are proud of you. May Allah bless you. And Anand Shah said, great job, Mayor. Khairullah Borough Administrator. This is a very helpful comment, suggestion, and tips of all the viewers throughout the state and throughout the country. This is awesome.
Council
Mr. Anand Shah
is doing great himself as well.
He himself doing great job.
Absolutely.
I will definitely sit with him one day,
Absolutely.
and definitely because he's doing great job. He's very active on Facebook and on the street. I can see anything happen. So great, Mayor. Thank you so much because we are actually coming to an end. Thank you so much for your time.
My pleasure, and
And
thanks to your
also,
audience as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, I mean, Mayor actually discussed many things. Probably you heard everything, and he just said how he going to outline for policing. He wants us to see policing not as a police as a terror, like when we see the vindictive policing, friendly policing in Prospect Park. To be honest, I see that every day because I drive past and I never seen this policing. I mean, Prospect Police, any discrepancies, beautiful, very professional. When I met them one day, I met two police guys in Dunkin' Donuts over there. They are absolutely nice and very good gentlemen and very professional at the same time. And Mayor, good luck for your future.
Thank you, brother.
Also, you're doing great job, no doubt about that. Because it's not that you say it, it's just because I got this information from the people who reside in Prospect Park. That's why you are a Muslim mayor, and among this community, and you being elected again and again, that's incredible. It means that you're doing great job. Without that, it wouldn't be happen. Mayor, good luck, and I want to see you in a highest level. To be honest, I don't want to say I want to be a congressman or senator because as long as the passport of things done, then probably we can think about that later. But definitely, Mayor, you doing a great job, and thanks for your time, obviously valuable time, and you come here on Sunday and giving us time, and Prospect Park residents that you have heard everything what he said and the plan for the for this great Prospect Park municipality. Now let me finish with Intasan. Tell us something. Tell the viewers what are you gonna say.
Thank you for so much having me here, Masumoko. I mean, I don't do much interviews simply because my job is to be behind the scenes to make sure my awesome mayor here has everything he needs to be successful every single day. But this was very humbling to share my story. To anybody listening out there, to parents,
there are some people,
parents and youth in Bangladesh, in America, please dream big, but also do whatever is necessary to work hard to get to your goals. Find a mentor and learn from these mentors and learn from others as much as you can, because everybody has something that they can offer. And then you slowly work your way to where you need to go. I would like to add, I see that a lot of your viewers are very interested in the progress of the mayor.
Yes.
If you would like for more information, the mayor's on all social media outlets. You can follow him on Facebook at Mayor Muhammad T. Khairullah. You can follow him on Twitter at Mayor Khairullah. He has a website, www.mayorkhairullah.com.
Please.
And then his YouTube, Mayor Khairullah. These are all great channels that the mayor believes in to connect with the audiences, not just here in Prospect Park, but transcending into other communities in the state of New Jersey, in the United States, and abroad, because he does do so many different things. I encourage all of you guys to come forward and reach out to him, and if we can help you and be of any assistance,
in any way,
we'll be able to do that. But thank you, and to the Bangladeshi community, it's always an honor to represent you. I think that we all are very passionate people, and very motivated people, but we should all see change in our society and get involved in our local community. You could be a doctor, you could be an engineer, you could be whatever you want to be, but the mayor, like he told you, he's an educator by profession, but he's a mayor overall, and he's serving his community. So we can all wear different hats and still get involved in our community. It's a total team effort.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, the youngest borough administrator and American Bangladeshi, and the future of Bangladeshi community in the United States, no doubt about that, inshallah. And ladies and gentlemen, before I go, please don't forget the 2 points Mayor pointed out is, don't be a cheerleader to the dictator, and move forward with the commitment you have to the community and to your family. You'll be succeeded, inshallah. Thanks for watching, everyone, and hopefully we'll see you in the next live, of course, in Bangla, probably. Thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you so much. Take care.